The Gift of the Magi. A short story by O. Henry. Narrated by Chloe. Della and Jim were married just a year. They had very little money and their place was poor. But what they lacked in fancy things, they made up for with love. Christmas was the next day, and all the money Della had to buy a present for her dear husband was just $1.87. "What on earth can I buy with that?" she asked. Stepping up to the mirror, she stared at her reflection. One possession that both Jim and Della were proud of was Della's hair. It cascaded down below her knees. There was also another possession that they were very proud of. That was Jim's gold watch, which had been owned by his father, and his grandfather before that. These two possessions were invaluable to them. Then, all at once, Della knew what she must do. As she stood looking at the mirror, 2 tears fell from her eyes and dropped onto the worn-out red carpet. Quickly, she put on her cloak and rushed out of the apartment. She ran down the street to a shop where wigs were made. A sign read, "We buy hair." "Tell me," Della asked the shop woman. "How much will you pay me for my hair?" "Step inside and let me see it," said the shop woman. Della stepped into the shop and took off her cloak. Down fell her long, thick hair. Finally, the shop woman said, "I will pay you $20 for your lovely long hair." At last, with $20 in her pocket and the $1.87 from before, Della could go shopping. But what should she get her husband? The one thing Jim loved best in all the world was his golden pocket watch. It had come from his father, and from his father's father before that. Sometimes, when Jim did not think anyone could see, he took out that golden watch, turned it over, and rubbed it with care. Della knew this because she saw him do it. Then Della saw the perfect gift. A gold chain for his pocket watch. For $21 she bought the gold watch chain. With that chain hooked up to Jim's pocket watch, the watch could not fall out of his pocket. And wouldn't Jim look grand when he took out that golden pocket watch and everyone could see the shiny gold chain? That night when Jim came home, Della rushed up to give him the gift she had bought. Yet when he saw his wife's short hair, a frown appeared where he had once smiled. "Do not worry, my hair grows back quickly," she cried. Then, before she could give Jim her gift, he handed his wife a small box. Della untied the ribbon and opened it. Inside were 2 beautiful hair combs. They were the very same ones she had mooned over many times in the store windows, but they had cost far too much money. Now they were the gift her dear husband had given her. Next, Della handed Jim her box. "Now it is your turn," she said. When Jim opened the gift and saw the gold watch chain, he had to sit down. "Don't you like it?" said his wife. "Of course I do," said Jim. "But you see, I sold my watch so I could buy you the 2 hair combs." "But I sold my hair to buy you the watch chain," said Della. Jim and Della had both given up the one thing they held most dear for the sake of the other. Rather than dwell on the items they had wrapped up as gifts, it was obvious to both of them that the thing they valued more than anything else was each other. "Oh, my beautiful wife," said Jim, taking his wife's hands into his own and looking into her eyes. "Oh, my dear husband," said Della, with love. Then they smiled at each other, closed their eyes, and held each other very close. The end.